We did it. We did it, people. Today, I hit my 365 day streak on Duolingo. Yay! Duolingo, yeah. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm pretty happy. I don't know why. It's really not that big of a deal, but I think the reason it feels so good to me is because no one forced me to do it. I just did it, and it feels pretty good to do something by yourself, for yourself. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted because I'm sitting right next to the window and I'm not showing people. I mainly just wanted to talk to you today about like what I've learned from my 365 days with Duolingo. I think it's pretty amazing for people to like have a desire to learn a language. Obviously, some people are more motivated than others. I have a pretty good motivation. I'm often in the midst of Spanish-speaking people, and it's been a huge motivation for me. I just think for them to be able to communicate with me, it would be amazing. We're really blessed to be native English speakers because we get really spoiled with our communication with other people. It's very rare to come across someone that doesn't speak English, especially here. We don't have to struggle through a conversation to ask for basic things, or I don't know. I heard a quote a long time ago, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but it's like,
if you talk to a man in a language he understands, it goes to his head.
Something
if you
like,
talk to him in his language, it goes to his heart.
When you speak their native tongue or
Some shit like that. I don't know.
But we don't get to experience that. It's like here in speaking English, many people, they get mad or frustrated or whatever, like, oh, their English is so terrible I can't understand a word. And it's like we definitely don't give people credit for learning English ever. And I found with my extensive Spanish vocabulary, that doesn't transfer. And I've heard many people who speak several languages. There's a lot of language speakers who would jump up and down. They would be so excited if you knew a little bit of their language. And I just, like, I wish we could be a little more like that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's impressive. Oh, my God. Oh, please stop. Oh, my God.
We get mad, frustrated, whatever, what have you. If, like, for example, I work at the supermarket. I don't work at the supermarket, it's my example. But if I work there and, you know, maybe someone from France, I don't know. Someone from France came in, they had really poor English, and I would be, like, getting irritated about it. And, yeah, that's a bad example because you would probably be irritated and dumb just working at a grocery store. But the really compelling thing to me is like there's so many people who complain who have no idea what it is like to learn another language at all. I've learned so much about people, about myself, about the English language. I've learned a ton about the English language by learning a different language, you know, learning. I'm in the process of it. I'm not done, obviously. We're celebrating 1 year. I don't mean to put the cart before the horse, but for all intents and purposes, we'll say right now I speak Spanish.
Pero no.
I can, but, you know, I don't. If you're listening to this and you're... What are you doing? Like you're up to no good. You're a native English speaker. You're like incredibly lucky, and for that reason alone, I would recommend challenging yourself, because you have no idea what it's like. You just don't know. And like, I think everyone should do that to understand more what people are going through. Take a little bit of Italian and go try to talk Italian. I'm sure there's some people who are naturally really good with Italian. Maybe it wouldn't be that much of a struggle for them, but even if you're a really internal person, the dialogue alone, like you wouldn't even want to do it in English, let alone try to speak to someone not really being comfortable with what you're saying.
This is the I sound.
I can't stress it enough, and I'm definitely fumbling over what I'm trying to say, but try it. You'll learn a lot about yourself, and I think after you fail miserably, you'll start to give people a little more credit. A lot more credit. Hopefully. You know, maybe not, but like I said, I've been doing Duolingo for a year now. I've technically been doing it longer, but my streak is 365 days, which I'm incredibly proud of. I could be probably twice as far as I am if I took it more seriously, but how do I want to say this? One thing I noticed it was like a catalyst for quick learning was speaking, and I get to say things with my girlfriend, and people that aren't me might say, well, that's cheating because you had more immersion at home because she speaks Spanish.
Bienvenidos a mi casa, ID.
All this
Good to see you.
nonsense, which, yeah, I give you credit to your point, but she's learning English. Well, I would argue she's fluent, but
And this one is one of the most important corners of the house. Where are you? Here. Is where happiness lives.
get the fuck off my street, Mr. Dingling.
What do you want? And when I saw it, I'm like, one day maybe I'll get that one, because he's known for his very big, voluptuous figures, but there was something about his that I was very attracted to. Sex.
And she has been for a while, but she's been improving English, so yeah, you say it's easier for you because you're fully immersed, you get to speak only Spanish at home, but that's exactly what she's doing, and I don't want to take away from her experience and her learning, because she basically only ever speaks English to me. What the fuck am I talking about? But a decent amount of time ago, like, this is probably around the 3-month mark, you know, speaking with her a little here, a little there, being able to say some things. It was kind of cool to be able to throw a few words here and there and really not understand too well. You feel like you're contributing, I guess I would say, even though you're not. I don't know, I think realistically, the point where I hit enough vocab and enough context clues and everything is probably around 10 months, but I didn't notice until I actually started speaking. And then at that point I realized, holy frick, this is awesome. Where I felt like I was actually having conversations, and yeah, I didn't know everything, I still don't, and I never will. But if you get to that point where you start to like talk with people and like you aren't really too hindered, like, yeah, obviously you don't remember every word, but it's kind of like the training wheels come off and you kind of just go for it. That is so cool. And when that happens to you, you feel that all your effort, all your time, it was completely worth it. And I can't really explain it. It's just amazing. But one thing that it taught me was how important it is to speak. It changes everything, and it really motivates your learning. Another thing it does is it gets you more confident. There was just one day where I decided to go for it. Prior to that point, up to that point, I did what everyone does. I assume everyone does. They're so paralyzed by the idea of making mistakes and sounding like an idiot, seeming like an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I might make a grammar mistake. Oh, I'm not going to say this sentence. And there's so much we do in every facet of life, but specifically I've noticed with language learning where we stop ourselves, and you got to get over that. The way you get over that is to realize how amazing it is to start speaking. You nail a few sentences in a conversation, like a little back and forth exchange, even if it is something stupid like, oh, what type of music do you like? What type of food do you like? Yeah, maybe it's only one step above what is your name, how old are you, but that exchange will change everything, and you'll forget that fear of like making a mistake, or doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? I recommend it to everyone. Any language, whatever. Obviously, there's some languages that are going to help you pave the way for more difficult ones. Like, I think once you understand kind of the things that help you learn the language, like the things to focus on, the things that are a waste of time, once you learn how to learn, everything will be easier in the future. Doing peckerhead. So there's that. But that brings me to my first point. And my brain is slow. I had a stroke. Because of that, I have some brain damage, and I can't do things very long or very strenuous without my brain being like, yo, stop. What are we doing? I feel like I'm a pretty good litmus test. If you're on the fence about it, do it. If I could do it, you can do it. I did it, 5-10 minutes a day, and then my brain's like, I don't want to learn anymore. 5-10 minutes. You could do it when you're taking a crap. If you figure out a place in your routine that works well for you, you can do it. It's so easy to invest that time because I'm sure you scroll Facebook, Instagram, X, whatever. I'm sure you do that 10 minutes a day anyways. So maybe just don't do it. Go on Duolingo or whatever. You can use any resource you want. I'm really surprised in 10 minutes a day. I keep saying 10 minutes. I don't do 10 minutes. There are like little quest things, and some days I get like a quest I think is complete 15 minutes of learning, and I'm just, when I see that, I'm like, fuck! I don't want to do it. Because I'm used to doing 5 minutes. But I do a few things like friend quest stuff, and then I'm done for the day. It's really quick. We'll call it 10 minutes for all intents and purposes. I'm really shocked that what I did in 10 minutes a day is usable. It shocks me because there's some days where I feel like I'm getting everything wrong. I don't know. It's so crazy. You don't think anything's working. I might go to say it in a comment or a conversation or whatever, and I realize I know it. It like rams it into your brain in the back where you can access it subconsciously, which is what I need. Ram that vocab in. Another thing I learned was that your vocabulary is directly related to your understanding, which I know it sounds really stupid. When you hear someone speaking, it sounds like gibberish, like you don't pick anything out really obvious, but oh, you smell like Fritos. Understand a word like nedar and the conjugations of nedar. Then you hear someone talking about, look at your little butt. When you hear someone in conversation talking about someone swimming, you know, obviously the conjugate. Depending on what the other words are, you might be able to figure out context clues, but like the more words in that sentence you know what it means, the more you're gonna get the sentence. Ooh, bingo. But it was like such a weird realization to me that like the more words you know, the more you understand. That is the key to your talking. It isn't like all this crap, spending so much time on your grammar. You want to jump into the basics and understand that kind of stuff. But the more words you know, the more you could figure out what people are talking about. And the grammar is obviously going to help you, but I find so far the best use of my time has been learning the vocabulary, which is amazing because that's what Duolingo is. They don't teach you for grammar. At least I don't know that they do. I haven't seen it. You just repeat it so many times that even though you don't know why you're doing it this way, you start doing it this way. You hear it over and over again. You repeat it over and over again, and then it just gets in your mind. How bad am I sounding right now? Practice does make perfect. And I think your input is huge. I watched the whole telenovela series, Pedro el Escamoso. And I had English subtitles on. You could argue I shouldn't have, but like that taught me so much just to watch the show that I like. What do you want, little one? I mean, can you turn the fucking song off at least if we're gonna park there? You have customers. You definitely don't need to be playing that right now. No one else is coming.
Hello?
Mayor, I'm in real trouble here. The ice cream will melt if we...
Turn the fucking song off.
The giant batch of chocolate chips are about to crash into the fans. What should we do? Please, Mayor, help me. Mayor!
Freaking dumb dingling, dude. I know a lot of people talk about Duolingo, and I know it right now. I'm singing praise for it. That's because it did more than I expected. I'm so surprised that I invested a lot of time if you take into account the whole year. But time per day was like non-existent. I don't know. I think Duolingo is really good too because for me, it keeps me on track. I participate daily, almost daily. I participate as much as I can. They have these things called friend quests, and it's like, it gives you a teammate. You work with your teammate to do something, you know. The one I have now is like do 14 lessons, there's 13 or 12 or some crap, I don't know. But basically, each of you has to participate. So if I do 6, and you get a long time to do it. It's not like you have 1 hour. It's like a week or something. So it's like if I do 6 in a week and you do 6 in a week, we're good. If we both participate, you have to pull through for your teammate if you're competitive. If you're not, then you don't have to do shit. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I don't even know what you get for completing a friend quest. Nothing. I don't think you get anything. It just makes you feel like, you know, someone's counting on you. Where are you guys going? The Brady Bunch. I think one thing I really like about Duolingo is some people might get mad, but I'm not really sure if they use machine learning or what they do. I'm not exactly sure. I've noticed with other methods, they give you trust. And with certain things,
I'm definitely not to be trusted.
If you leave a pizza on my counter and you just leave for the rest of the day, I'm gonna eat it. There's no
Furniture.
way I won't do that. And language is kind of the same thing. If they introduce something to me, I get overly confident. And I'm like, yeah, got it. I don't got it. Like, especially now, I really need a system that is relentless. And if that system doesn't trust me, and it keeps feeding me the words that I get wrong most often, or concepts, that's what I need. I've used a ton of different apps, but they don't generally have that. They definitely don't hold your hand like Duolingo does. They leave it up to you. They basically say, you got it? Yeah, you do? Okay, moving on. I mean, they don't really do that, but they leave it up to you to do that. Duolingo, they don't take no shit.
Do you got it? You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, tell me again.
Okay, maybe I don't
Okay,
understand.
here's the information.
Cool.
You got it?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Tell me again.
Yeah, I don't know. Doing this kind of exercises, these systems, like, they don't let you get away with what I would normally get away with. Hopefully that's getting better, but I'm a slow learner. I'm shitty. By the way, this is delicious. To me, I think a lot of people's main problems with Duolingo is, how do I word it? Why are you so fucking quiet now? I think one main problem people have with Duolingo, it seems more kiddie, and it seems like it's marketed / meant for people who don't take it seriously. I understand the criticism, but I have a problem whenever I hear people talk shit about it, because I think the main point is to share that connection with people and have conversations, and that seems like the goal. That is my goal. I get way more out of that than I would get out of practicing grammar tables, and I think obviously someone who goes at it from a different angle, they know way more than I do, but I don't care. I'm really happy with the time I invested daily, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you want to invest some of your time daily and actually do something positive with it, I would highly recommend it. I don't know. Christ, I'm going off the rails here, but again, to wrap it up, I know I keep talking nonsense, but the whole point of this was, like, I really do recommend it to more people, and I've talked to so many people who always say, like,
Yeah, I would love to learn another language.
but they don't do it. And I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm not. But I would like to be proof to you that you can do it. I believe in you, and I know that with your 5 minutes a day, you can get pretty good. For everyone that says you can't learn a language on Duolingo, it's blah blah blah, you know, you're not seriously learning. It's like, fuck you. Who cares? Let people do what they want to do. Don't discourage anyone from learning. Maybe they can't write a book report in a target language, but I don't think most people care. Maybe you just want to talk to someone from the country. Maybe you want to visit someday. Like, no matter what you do, it's gonna help you. I'll put my on the screen. And you can be my friend. We'll do friend quests, and I'll try anything. I'll try it. Like you pick what you want to do, and we'll try to learn it. And I'm not going to do it for a year probably, unless I start to love it. But we'll try it out. Why not? Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea. I'm just talking shit. Bueno, ciao. Ciao la torre.